group, and John was cool, and we joked about it. What's up, Ethan?
Hello, my my friends.
What's up?
Now we're in trouble.
You Rippaverse. Well, what are you doing here? You are you denigrating Rippaverse again?
No,
actually,
this
no,
is
he's doing something even worse today.
What's he doing?
Explain what you're doing. Explain yourself, Tony.
Okay, so this guy, Vincent Martin, he made a live stream where he mentioned me 33 times. So I figured we'd go through every instance of him talking about me and then make fun of him.
Oh, that's called monetizing your haters. I know about that. I know all about monetizing your haters. I learned about it because I'm a Rippaverse supporter. That's what Eric July does. That's what I'm going to do too. Unfortunately, everybody loves me except for Mundane Matt, and that's the.
Why doesn't Matt like you?
I don't know. He called me a coward. I saw a clip of that was shared by this guy Rippaverse Goalposts, and Mundane Matt in the clip was like, "I know Ethan Van Sciver's watching right now," and I was like, "How did he know that?" And he said, "Ethan's a coward." I was like, "What the hell? I've never said anything like that about Mundane Matt. Why is he picking on me?" Sucked.
You want me to DM Matt and I'll tell him to come on?
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to face my accuser. What's the matter with you? Not you, him.
I gave him the link directly in the DMs. Just so everyone knows, like, I got to make it clear every time now. Yes, I talk to Mundane Matt in DMs every once in a while, occasionally.
I would, but he doesn't answer them. I'm like, hi, Matt. How are you? How's young fatherhood? Good? Yes. Hey, answer me. Like that, and he doesn't, so.
I was yelled at last time he came on here because they said, why didn't you ask Ethan what's going on with Rainbow the Brute?
Why? Like, I answer that question every single day. I'm like, every day, I'm like, yeah, I'm working on the book now. It'll be ready in December. We'll send it to print. We'll take care of it. It's a good book. It's basically about how men should stop listening to women. Yeah, and it's about like a culture of boys that have been raised by their mothers and the horrible effects of that. And really how you can reverse those effects with a good male role model. And that's what the book is, and it's wrapped up in that's the message, but it's wrapped up in this story about girls' toys that have been masculinized. So there's Rainbow the Brute, the Care Bears are these vicious, emotionally manipulative grizzly bears with little symbols, emoticons on their chest. They're just assholes. The Smurfs are like Marines. It's awesome. So like that's what the book is. I think it's going to be good for people. I think it's going to change a lot of people's minds about the stuff.
Hero Journalism says Matt's live on his own show.
And then he says, duh, like I'm supposed to. Nobody watches his show. How does anybody know he even has a show? What do you say, duh? Like I'm meant to know he has a show. The fuck?
Yeah, they do that a lot. Yeah, I didn't know he was going live. He popped in the chat, so I figured he wasn't streaming, but then I guess
he's probably streaming to like 2 people, and like, one of them is probably John Delarose. Tell him to come in here.
I did. I said, EBS wants you to come over here. But I bet you he's over there talking about us. He's got 20 people. Which is weird. How many people we got?
Well, I stink.
We got 18.
All right.
We almost got as many
Ethan,
as Monday Night.
Are you friends with Nick Rekieta?
Yeah. Yes. I'm really good friends with Nick Rekieta. Yeah. I'm also friends with great friends with Eric July. Great friends with Vito and Dick Masterson. I even like this.
Hate each other.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, there's this whole thing, like, you have to be loyal and all that. Listen, I don't want to pick sides. I'm Ethan Van Sciver. I do whatever I want to do. I like these guys. And by the Clippaverse guy is really nice. Like, he and his girlfriend Mint Salad just backed the action figure campaign. They bought like two of 2 complete sets. It's like $1,000 worth of toys. You know, I appreciate that. They're good customers. Yeah, they're like good
they're
customers.
insane.
Oh yeah.
So good for them. And thanks a lot. I'm not, my thing is just, stop being mean to Eric July. Have it hard enough.
That's your thing.
Yeah, that's what I want to say. That's my message.
All right.
That's why I'm here.
We will stop being mean to your business partner.
I stopped being mean to him. I did a video that was showing him in a positive light. I said, "Hey, I just discovered Eric July is an ally of the LGBTQ community. He's in a documentary talking about tolerance. He gets interviewed. He says a nice message about how sometimes you have this mistaken idea about people, and then you talk to them and you learn that they're actually nice people, and that gay people are not to be feared." So it's a lovely message.
That was a nice video you made, Tony.
Yeah,
I'm sure Eric will see it that way.
What about trans people? Can you be afraid of them? Does he say? Does he have an opinion?
I don't think there was trans people like 10 years ago to that extent.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't know. Oh, that's good. Yeah, I saw some weird videos where, like, when he was a teenager, he was like, I don't know, man. He was like dancing. He called it boogieing.
Did you know that he helped? I just learned this the other day. And that was so funny. But the dance, the Dougie, he helped create that dance. I didn't know that.
Teach me how to Dougie. Hey, listen, that's great. Michelle Obama was teaching children all over the world how to do the Dougie. So he really kind of
did he really have something to do with that dance?
Yes.
I thought that's Cali Swag District, aren't they from California?
I have no idea. All I know is it says YG Rippa. It says this dance was innovated, and it lists like a couple of people, and they're like YG Rippa was one of them.
Wow. Well, if that's one of Eric's aliases, then yeah, cool.
Before he was Young Rippa, he was YG Rippa.
YG is probably kind of abbreviated for like young, like featured as FT. Yeah, I'm listening to this. I think
that's really cool, Eric.
Yeah. When I'm listening to like my music, which is of course hardcore, hip hop, rap, that's the kind of stuff I listen to on my own. It'll be like, this song's by Young Thug featuring Birdman. You know what I'm saying? And it's FT period Birdman. And that's just the music that I listen to. So that's featuring. And YG probably means young in the same way. YG.
I'm guessing. I haven't figured out what the 59 stands for. But one day.
Yeah, it's not like his birth year. Or is it his birthday is it like May 9th?
I don't.
That's usually like, I'd be like EVS 74, from 1974 when I was born.
It could be his height, 5'9".
Yeah, I think that is his height.
Is he 5'9" really?
That's what it says on his athletic profile, whatever, for the running.
Have you been to the famous warehouse?
No, I haven't. I'm not stalking him. Listen, he he wants his privacy. Here are a couple of things. First of all, if anybody wants to meet Eric July, the place to meet him is not at his warehouse for a couple of reasons. One, it's inappropriate for people to go to his place of work to go hassle him. And two, he's not even there. He doesn't he barely goes there. He has like 15 employees. And from what I understand, and they're there all the time packing books and, putting a box together, popping a copy of Ice on Number 1 in it, bagged and boarded, and then you kind of put the wet tape over it, and then the address label, boom, $5. And then you put that in a pile with the other ones. That's what's going on there. Like
time deal.
Yeah, that's what's going on. $5, dude. That's what's going on there. He's not there. Like he's busy doing other things. So you wouldn't even meet him if you wanted to. So don't go to his warehouse.
They just wanted to give him a super chat.
Yeah, I don't know.
Don't go anywhere. No one needs to meet him.
No, I mean,
Unless
he made it clear. He's
serving
like,
them for some sort of lawsuit.
wow, that was. I hope not. God forbid. I hope they work that out.
What would that look like? What would a settling look like, in your opinion?
Settlement. Well, I gotta say, the main thing is that they're gonna say, look, your name, the name of your comic book, infringes on the name of our kind of religious program and its publishing efforts, especially since there's a cross heavily featured there. There seems to be, even though it's not clear what, seems to be religious theme to your book. So it's possible that there could be some confusion, and this is definitely being it's being exaggerated by people on the internet who are basically saying, "Oh, look, it's the International School of Ministries comic book, ISOM, starring ISOM. I didn't know Eric July's and they're saying things like that, and obviously the ministry's looking at that and going, "Look at all this seriously, genuine confusion in the marketplace." It seems to me like we deserve some of that, $2 million or whatever, $3 million. So that's what's going on right now.
But that would have been after I can't say serving of the lawsuit because it hasn't been served.
They don't. Here's the thing, serving the lawsuit means now we're in business. Now we're in the middle of a lawsuit, which means that it's going to cost money. So what we do instead, probably, and I know because I'm doing this to several people right now over Comicsgate. I'm currently holding them up. People who want to use the word Comicsgate to express weird, deviant ideas. I own the trademark, and so I'm going to destroy their lives with lawsuits and things. That's what you have to do. Yeah, you have to do that to protect your trademark. You literally have no choice. Okay, you have no choice, or else it goes into the public domain. What's going to happen is they're going to say, well, first of all, you have to change the name of your book, or you have to make it clear somehow in the title of your book that has nothing to do with us, and also have some of that money. Have a big piece of that.
Now, would that be a big deal to change the name of the book from ISOM to something else?
I mean, well, somebody comes to me and says, "You gotta change the name Cyberfrog," I'd be like, "Well, all right." So,
that makes sense. Cyberfrog. It is.
Yeah,
what is ISOM? We don't even know why he's called ISOM. It's 2 books down. He hasn't even. No one called him ISOM in the fucking book. Neither book.
Yeah, I would change the name of the book to Avery Silman or whatever. It wouldn't be that big of a deal. Or Avery Silman, the Spectacular ISOM. You know what I mean?
I think he could probably get away with putting Eric July Presents ISOM.
Maybe, yeah. There are a bunch of different ways.
Perry.
Yes, he is, though.
Eric July is ISOM. There you go.
Yeah, there are a bunch of different ways around it. They're going to figure out what it is. But they don't want to serve the lawsuit because, again, then they're spending money rather than taking money from Eric July, which is what they'd rather be doing. So, you don't want to get into a lawsuit. Yeah, settle it quietly. Everybody's happy.
Well, I think part of the issue is because Eric's selling merchandise that just say ISOM, but it doesn't have any pictures on it, just ISOM. I think
he's gonna have to stop doing that. Yeah, they'll make him stop doing that.
Yeah, because
definitely.
Even if you can argue, well, yeah, that's a ministry and that's comic book. There's no confusion between the two, but someone who has no idea what's going on and just sees a hat that says ISOM, there's a good chance they could be like, oh, the ministry got new hat designs, right?
Yeah, no, I would wear that. Like if I were a part of the ministry, I would just wear Eric July's hat, honestly. I would, because it's like people wouldn't think much of it. There's no difference there. So why not?
So
do you have a team of lawyers as well?
I have 2 lawyers. I don't know if they're a team of rock stars. But I have
Right.
I have a lawyer here in Philadelphia, and then I have another one in Washington D.C. And they handle all legal matters for comic artist pro secrets and for all caps comics, and they're good. I mean, they're good at what they do. So, but
Yeah,
I wouldn't
it's
I
never
wouldn't.
good for an artist to be
It's expensive.
basically wasting their energy. Yeah,
It's
yeah, and money.
expensive, and it's an extremely annoying waste of money to do legal shit to people. It's the last thing that I want to be doing. But I'm being sued by a fellow named Preston Poulter, so I've got one of them handling that, and I'm also suing Preston Poulter for like $2 million. So I got somebody
Oh
handling
wow.
that, and then there's a lot of trademarking stuff that I'm involved in as well. So I got a lawyer for that too.
Okay, is this Comicsgate related?
Yeah, Comicsgate, and then everything Cyberfrog, and you just want to make sure that you're kind of covered. Do a lot of times you don't really have to register a trademark. You have something called a common law trademark. Since Cyberfrog has already been published as a comic book, and it's dated
Yeah,
and it
it's
goes
clear
all the way
that
back
you've
to the
been using it.
90s. Right. There's some guys who are doing, and I'm looking at them very side-eyed. There's some guys who were doing some NFTs called Cyberfrog NFTs, and I said, "Hey guys, you want to think about changing the name of that?" And I looked at them and I just kind of went, "Is there brand confusion?" I think there kind of might be, but I'm not really sure. Do I want to fuck with people? Yes, but so that kind of thing.
And you have to leave the door open for you to do NFTs.
That
Yeah,
bad's
sure.
gone already. No one cares about NFTs.
Yeah, it just seemed like kind of a fly-by-night thing. Like by the time any kind of legal proceeding came about or anything, it'd be over. They'd be fly-by-night. They'd have disappeared. So I don't know. I try to be nice to people.
Well, people are saying crypto's over, but they're still buying all the computers to mine it. So
everything's changing. The world is changing. But what isn't changing is the Rippaverse. And you guys,
it is changing. They got a new artist.
Oh yeah, they got a new they got
Mike
Barron.
Yeah, the Punisher guy.
And what would we know him from?
He made the Punisher blank.
Yeah,
really?
Mike Barron. He's been around a while. He created a bunch of stuff, and he's great. He created Nexus. I don't know if you know that. And he's really terrific. He's a good friend of mine, and he's it's like, good for you, dude. Kick ass.
Well, here's something that I heard, and they had proposed. Eric seems to be hiring a lot of older, established people, right? There's not a lot of, as hot as the Rippaverse is. Wouldn't you expect like a bunch of hotshot, younger comic book pros to be clamoring to join?
Young Rob Lightfields.
Why do you think they would do that?
I was told that they were, Rippaverse is going to dance, moonwalk, not dance. I don't want to misquote. Moonwalk on the graves of the Marvel and DC comics.
You were told that when Ethan was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, by the way, Tiamat D Lord. So by EVS's logic, I love when they say that. Like I'm illogical here, and he's caught me in something. Eric did defend his trademark. Well, first of all, why do you think I'm like? Why would I argue about this? Now Riley did do stuff as well as infringe the stuff with Clippaverse. Okay, let me be very clear about that. In my opinion, Riley did not infringe anything with Clippaverse. Not at all. That's called parody, satire. It was clearly distinguishable from Rippaverse. It didn't say Rippaverse. It said Clippaverse, and it had clippers. And you're allowed to do that. There are people who make fun of my stuff. And you know what I do about it? Nothing. It's parody. They're making fun of me. You're allowed to do that. It's the United States of America. It's fair use. It's parody. It's satire. If somebody is actually taking my logo and putting it on their stuff, then we got a problem. That would be trademark infringement. Don't take my logo. Don't call your thing All Caps Comics or Comic Artist Pro Secrets, because that belongs to me. But
you can go All Craps Comics.
Yeah, like somebody has something called All Crap Comics. It's like, but yeah, they're making fun of me. They're allowed to do that, dude. Of course. That's what Mad Magazine existed on for decades.
Yeah, and cracked.
So what happens is you can do that. You can, if I want to, let's say that I want to do, if I got really angry at All Craps Comics or whatever, I could file a DMCA takedown and say, yeah, I am claiming copyright over your parody. Sue me. And see, the problem with that is I have a lot of money. And I would be bullying someone because somebody else, the person who I do that to, might not have a lot of money. And so I've now bullied them into submission because they can't sue me to retain the rights to make fun of me. See how wrong that is? It's just wrong.
Yes. I would consider that punching down.
Yeah. You can't do it. You gotta let the little people get mad at the royal class. Like I would be in the royal class, and they would be like the little people. And they did that in ancient Rome too. They like drew pictures of Caesar and his wife like jerking off giant dicks and things like that's what the people do. That's what the plebs do. What are you going to do? Kill them? I mean, you could. I guess they probably did a few times, but you shouldn't.
You invite them to your warehouse and then you shoot them when they get close enough.
You could do that too, I guess. Yeah, I know. You gotta let people just express themselves. Obviously.
Well, you make it worse.
Tony, were you asking Ethan whether they should prioritize like flipping established talent over new talent?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was going to answer that question. Like, why aren't like big name? So you've got like Chuck Dixon, you've got Mike Barron. These guys are kind of like, they're comic skaters, and they're doing their own thing, but they're not making a whole lot of money on their own projects, and they've kind of aged out from working in the mainstream. Like the way it really works is, it is true that like somebody like Chuck Dixon was blacklisted for his politics. I remember that. I was there when it happened. That is true. But on the other hand, like, Mike Barron, a good writer who's also a conservative, has more or less, everybody likes him, but he's kind of aged out. They brought in like younger guys like Donnie Cates and Mags Visaggio and, all of these other writers who are young. They move out the old people, they bring in the young people. It's just the way of life. So, these guys are doing their own things, but their own things are not exactly catching fire. Eric's offering them an opportunity for work for hire, and probably at a pretty good rate, pretty good page rate for them. I don't know what it is, but it's probably pretty good. They can still write. They still did all that stuff you remember that you like. So it just makes good sense for Eric to hire those guys, put them to work, give them an opportunity to make a little money, and also lend him the legitimacy that they have earned. So I was saying
I would team him up with younger guys.
Well, I mean, he probably would, but here's the difference. Like here's the thing about younger people, and you can go really young, somebody who hasn't done anything yet, and then give them their first opportunity, but really you're doing them the favor rather than see what you really want is you want somebody like David Finch, or Dave's my age, but somebody kind of young who is I can't even think of any names, but somebody who's young who's just rocking it on Spider-Man right now. What you want is you want that guy, because if you hire that guy, he's already known. He's kind of doing you're getting something from hiring him, but you're getting his clout and his excitement and his relevancy. But why would he leave his spot on Spider-Man to come work for you? Money? Like how much money? It's like you got to cover his royalties on a big book like that. You got to cover the fact that his original art on Spider-Man is selling for $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a page. And then he's going to come over and draw your characters that people know, but it doesn't have the same wide audience. It's a no-go. It isn't going to happen.
Well, that's
Do you
what I
see
was
younger
thinking.
comic book artists as an enemy of Comicsgate
No.
Yeah.
by virtue of their youth?
Killed them all.
No, I see. No, I see people who are hostile to my being allowed to work because of my politics as the enemy of Comicsgate. That's
Okay.
all. You know, I mean, you understand. I'm a conservative. I'm a Trump supporter. I'm a Christian. It's like I don't think women should ever be allowed to vote or have abortions. All of these things. I want to build a
See,
wall.
I told you,
huge
me
wall.
and EBS agree on a lot of things.
Yeah. So like those are my politics, and I don't really fit in well. I think I know there are only two genders. I don't really fit in well over there anymore because the comic book industry is really dominated at this point with crazy people and men who think like women and women who think like men. So I don't fit in, and that's the thing. But I understand that. I just want to be able to do my own thing unmolested. I mean that like literally in a lot of cases. So you're my enemy if you're working hard to make it so that Comicsgate has fewer opportunities. And there are a lot of people who are doing that are just like, you're a hate group. Nobody should ever, you should have your credit card services declined, things like that. Those people are my enemies. People who just disagree with me or people who are succeeding within the mainstream, or anybody who's doing whatever they want to do. I don't care. Like I pray for them. Go do your thing.
I was praying for Nerdette the other day.
Really? How did that go? Did she appreciate it? I mean,
yeah, I think she did. We're changing. We're softening the heart. But what I was saying is, I think that in what I would do if I was Eric July, and obviously I'm not, and so I'm an idiot, and anything I say is stupid. But what I would do is I would get some young guys who have not done anything, who haven't been tainted by the comic book industry yet, bring them in to work alongside guys like Chuck Dixon and Mike Baron. That way, you get the old guys' clout, and they can train the new guys in a way where, like, hey, they're gonna become the next Mike Baron. They learn from the master. They learn from the EVSs.
Well, don't you think he's done that? He's got that guy Igor, whatever his name is, who does all the promo artwork. You know what I mean? You see,
This is the first I've ever heard of an Igor, to be honest.
I think his name is Igor. And whenever they're like, ISOM just hit like $2 million. Thanks, fans. And there's a drawing of ISOM that didn't come from the comic books, but maybe he's hanging over the boxing ring ropes and he's looking tough. And he's got an artist. He does the portraits of all the new employees. They're like, Mike Barron's here, and there's like a nice drawn cartoon.
He has a recognizable style.
Yeah, they hired him, and he's a young guy, I believe. So he's got a big opportunity. I saw a picture of him drawing, and he looked like he was maybe 30. So fairly young guy. And then there's Joe Bennett, who is probably my age. I mean, the thing is, you want a bunch of young people, but at the same time, I really think Eric is going to do better for himself by hiring people who already know everything. Like Eric is not a comic book creator.
Aren't they more expensive than new talent?
Yeah, no, he's got to learn from the people that he works with.
No, they're so old that they're.
But Eric
no
doesn't
longer
learn.
Hot.
Well, I mean, he should. So, I mean, being around. One time I tried to tell Eric something and I said, no, but like, you need to listen to criticism. He goes, I get all the criticism I need from Chuck Dixon, who I trust. And I said, well, you're paying him though. It's like, what do you think he's going to do? I mean, this is the problem with that. It's like, and he was like, what, you think he would lie to me just because well, he wouldn't lie to you, but he's not going to say, no, that idea is shit, dude. Do not do that because he's your paycheck, like you're paying his bills. So you have to get somebody. My thing is honestly, I try to get feedback from people who don't like me very much, and it's like that's like the best. If somebody's willing to like read my stuff who doesn't like me and then give me feedback, it's going to be the best feedback because they're just like, fuck this guy. I'm going to tell him how bad he sucks, all the mistakes he made. That's like good feedback. You just have to have thick skin, to be able to deal with that.
Wait, you don't think Eric has thick skin?
About some things I do, but I think when you're a creative person, like and you're not experienced at it, you're kind of new to it. it is true that like you're precious about all of your ideas. They're like your little children, and nobody wants to be told that their children are jerks, you know, or anything like that. You really think your ideas are good,
No
and
one
so
wants
it
retarded
hurts.
children. Get it?
Well, yeah, it like hurts to be told, you know, this isn't perfect, this isn't wonderful, and you should change this.
So now I'm
Because
realizing. Now I'm realizing if you go back to your career with the big two, you have many more opportunities to learn from veterans in the industry than any indie would, right?
yeah, I mean precisely. Yeah. Like it's a good thing, like, you know, I mean, I have most of the guys who are in Comicsgate Kings, which is my like show on Monday night, are people who worked at Marvel or DC for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, and you know that's indispensable. Like it really does help to be around super creative storytellers all the time. Most people don't have those advantages. You can go to school, you can go to like the Kubert School. But to just be around people who are doing their job and turning in brilliant work all the time, and then getting their feedback about your work, you're going to grow and improve really, really quickly. And one of the things that I feel bad about when it comes to Comicsgate, people who are not in our shoes, they don't have that opportunity. Like there isn't the close connectedness of working with people who are long-term professionals, except for us, you know. And improving. It's a lot of people just working on their own indie project in isolation, which doesn't necessarily make for the best comics. Sometimes it does, but you know, not usually.
Well, I got a question for you, Ethan, since you're here. Have you seen Eric July's video that he just put out about how to make money in comic books?
No. Somebody, I think Shane Davis told me he watched it. I did not watch it. Why? Why do you ask?
You don't want to learn how to make money?
He gives a lot of numbers about how much things cost. I was going to ask if these were, in fact, accurate numbers or.
Oh, well, I mean, I
do like videos like that.
Pull it up.
I don't know how much a inker would cost or an editor.
Pull up.
Hold on. Let me get a drink of water. We'll be right back and pull up the video. Let's watch it.
Should we watch the whole video extra here, or do you think we should just skip the introduction?
If you know where the goods are, just skip to that.
All right, I'm back.
All right.
Super One Guy.
Super Guy 1.
Oh, Super Guy number 1.
For $25 for 50 pages. So what all goes into making a comic? Well, the bulk of the work and the people that get paid the most will be the artist, the writer, and the colorist. The one way to save money and make this profitable is if you combine.
I like the way the colorist was a person of color and everybody else was white.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
It's woke. It's woke.
The artist, writer, and colorist are different people. Even the artist sometimes is split between a penciler and inker. So I'm going to give you some rates for people that generally do this full time and are actually somewhat comfortable off of it. This isn't necessarily the rates of my guys, but I'll let you know what's competitive.
Oh, this will be fun.
A penciler and inker, assuming they're the same guy, will get paid the most out of everybody on the project.
Does that sound right just off the bat?
Yeah, definitely. But what's going to be fun about this is that Eric July asked me what to pay his guys, and since his guys were my guys, I inflated the cost. So I was like, yeah, I got this guy, Gabe El-Taib. He's a great colorist. And I told him, like, you know, what a colorist should get paid, which was way more than it. Anyway.
It was great that he trusted your opinion on that, but not for criticism.
Yeah. Well,
you know what would be funny?
What
would be real funny is if he took your numbers and then added 10%. Like, I got to make sure to pay him even more than normal, just so I could say it.
I hope he did that. Yeah, I hope he did that.
Because he was bragging about paying over the standard rate. So if you told him the standard rate and that was already inflated.
Yeah.
A competitive page rate for a professional artist that does this full time is going to be about, let's say, $300.
400. 400. I told him 400. All right, wait, back up. a little bit.
That does this full time is going to be about, let's say, $300
Keep it going.
a page. 3 to 5 pages a week is generally enough for them to feel like they aren't doing a rush job and are tied up with only that project. Assuming it's a 5-page a week work rate that they're at, if they worked nonstop, they'd be making 78 grand a year, of course, going project to project. Now, that's a decent living in most parts of the US and abroad. Obviously, the best artists will command more than that. But keeping it at 300 a page, if they drew on all 50 pages, the employer is in the hole $15,000.
It's a lot of money.
Sure, yeah.
So far. At peak efficiency, it'll take them 10 weeks to finish this 50-page project. Moving on to the colorists who will make the second most. A competitive rate is going to be a little over $100, at least $100 minimum.
Does it
What
sound
did he
right?
say?
At
What did
least
he say?
$100 minimum.
For a colorist? Oh yeah, I mean that's very low. That's very low for a colorist. He definitely pays more than that. I know he does for a fact. Interesting.
And that's generous. These guys can only do,
and that's generous. $100 a page, and that's generous. That's
is he trying to lower? What it might be is that his current team is getting an inflated amount of money based on my recommendation and just what they asked for. And so now he's letting people know through this video what they should expect moving forward.
Yeah,
like, if you're gonna work for me, like, listen, no, I just paid a colorist $200 to do a trading card for me, and it's beautiful. To color a trading card. I like to say when people color for me or people work for me, they know I know what it costs to live, and I know how hard art is, and so I try to pay them an amount of money that they can buy a bag of groceries with, they can like feed their families with. Yeah. And that's my kind of idea. And then I'll make the money back. You just have to exploit the artwork, like take the artwork, make a poster, make a t-shirt, make a trading card. You'll make the money back. That's not hard at all, but just take care of the artist as best as you can.
Do far more than 5 pages of interior work a week, but obviously they're going to go for your project only as quick as the line art can get to them. This means a 50-page book would be $5,000 or so. Next up is the writer. For most, it's less, and others it's more, but a competitive rate for a writer will float around $100 a page.
Yeah, somebody quoted me that. A famous writer quoted me that. I don't
understand. $100 a page. Isn't the writer writing the whole book? Like,
yeah. So it's if it's a 48-page book, he's getting $4,800 for the script.
Okay.
Make sure there's a lot of pages with just action. Like,
yes, a double-page spread, that just says they fight. Same. You get paid the same.
Meanwhile, there you go. Yeah. I get a whole $100 for that page.
Of course, writers can pump out.
Maybe that's why someone had to write in 2 weeks ago. They're like, shit, throw in it 2 weeks ago so I get paid for that page.
Boy, was that strange.
Scripts in no time. But for this 50-page project, they're making what, like $5,000 or so dollars, some comparable to what the colorist is making.
Last is the letterer, and they're going to get about 20.
Why did the audio get so weird?
I don't know. He recorded it in different places, different times.
So
is
bucks
Eric
the page
the sole writer for ISOM? That we know of?
He says so. Yeah, I don't know. There's some people who theorize that he's got like a ghostwriter, some help, but I have no knowledge of that at all. And I do remember, it's funny, I went back and looked at my texts between me and Eric July going all the way back 2 years ago. And he actually was just like, so where did you get this done? How do you get this done? What printer? Blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, hey, I just finished the script. It's 83 pages long. And I was like, oh, good for you. So it seems like he wrote it, himself.
Okay. 83 page script.
I heard somewhere. maybe this is wrong information. Maybe I'm spreading misinformation. But Ethan I might know. I heard Eric July claimed
Yes.
that he actually ghostwritten other comic books already.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. That doesn't happen. There aren't ghostwriters. You know, there just aren't. They get credit. You know, if they write something, they get credit for it.
And from the great
Tony, have you ever ghostwritten a comic?
No. Shit. No.
Okay.
But I heard, was it Tug's book? That Eric July might have ghostwritten Tug's book or something like that.
That's the weirdest thing I've ever heard. I don't know.
Just put it out there.
And that's $1,250 for this 50-page book.
So for all the heavy lifters of a comic, you're going to spend at least $26,250 for this 50-page.
You know what this is?
What?
For some reason, I have a feeling that he's made this video to be like, see, guys, this is why I didn't rip off the charity, because this is all the money that it took for me to make the comic.
I'm thinking the same thing.
So stop saying that it will only cost $2.50.
Wow, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
So here's my issue with
everything
it.
he does has one of these weird double motives.
Yeah. Now, I don't think a lot of people are stupid, so let's just get that honest. Him selling it for the $17.50, I don't have an issue with that, right? If you want to cut it by half. The issue that I'm having, that I'm trying to reconcile in my brain, is I haven't seen a receipt from anybody going, yes, this is the receipt for the charity, right? If that receipt says $17.50, the question I would have is Eric trying to claim the other $17.50 as his own write-off? Because in the video he goes, we technically pay half, and then later on he goes, so we're paying the other half. And I'm going, well, not really. If you put it as a tax write-off for $17.50 to the customer, that's what the government is writing off in taxes. You can't claim two $17.50s on one book, right?
Hey, man.
Ethan, how did you feel when you were watching the stream when Eric pulled up on Rakita?
Oh yeah, no, I was live streaming it. I EFAP'd it live. Yeah. It was somebody said, look, Ethan's mouth is small and his eyes are big for the first time ever, you know. Yeah, I was bug-eyed through the whole thing, and I was just like, oh my fucking God.
It was intense.
It was crazy. I don't know. You know, my thing is, I think there are a lot of people who aren't really kind of acknowledging the kind of truth of probably what happened there. You know, it's my opinion, and it's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but it's my opinion.
You're
you know,
with all parties involved.
Yeah, I am. I'm friends with all parties involved, and I don't think anybody meant to cheat anyone. I just feel like what happened was there's a fellow named Drunk 3PO who had a book called Non-Chromatic Blue, whatever, something like that. I can't remember what it was. But he did a crowdfund, and he really was successful by offering a charity tier, like for this kid's charity. So, you know, you can buy the book here, and then, you know, we'll give copies of the book to this kid's cancer fund. Now, this guy, Drunk 3PO, he is a super amazing human being. Like, he actually builds houses for people in Haiti. You know, his whole life is charity. I don't know how he does it, but to me, like, the idea of giving comic books that you made to charity is a misguided one. You know, it's like, I don't think anybody needs your Vanity Project comic book. It's just, that's not charity. It just isn't. But I also think he gave them the money too, because I think that's the kind of guy he is. So, but I think some people saw this and just thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Like, you mean to say that, like, I can give away my comics as a charitable donation? Well, that makes sense for a million different reasons for me and my purposes here on this crowdfunding campaign. because I just need the money. I'm going to be making the comic books. The comic books are coming in. If I can just have the money to make the comics, I can give the comics away. That's a charitable donation. What kind of incentive should I offer for people to donate a book to charity? Half price, whatever. I mean, the book is arbitrarily $35. It's arbitrarily half price, $17.50. There's no rhyme or reason behind that. It's like, that's just half of $35. Let's use our heads.
Yeah.
So I think the thing about it is that I saw this happen, the same kind of thing in crowdfunding. It happened with Doug TenNapel and Mike S. Miller. The two of these eggheads, they decided that what they wanted to do, these ninnies, these nincompoops, these nitwits, they're both doing their awful comics, and they went, you know what, we're going to do a tier where, it's a copy of our book for the troops. And if you back, this, you can back the 5 copies of Bigfoot Bill or Lone Star, Mind of the Monster for the troops. We'll send over 10 copies for every 5 that you buy to the troops. And I said, hey, man, you guys are a couple of fucking war profiteers, because those people are at war. Like, they're staring death in the face. They don't want to read your shitty comics. And really what it is you're keeping the money, right? Like, ultimately, that's what this is. You're sending the comics. You're keeping the money. That's the scam. The scam is you're sending the comics, which are worthless, and keeping the money. So while under the guise of a charitable donation. So that's what those guys were doing. And I'm not saying that Eric was doing the same thing. I'm saying that's what those guys were doing. I think it didn't catch up to them. And it caught up to Eric because he has so many more people that want to take him down. But he's not the first one to do this. Not at all. Like, there are a lot of guys who are doing this kind of shit.
And would you recommend indie comics creators to do this in the future, or just?
No, I don't think anybody should do this in the future. I honestly, crowdfunding doesn't need this kind of thing attached to it. It just doesn't. I know Eric is, and by the way, Eric isn't crowdfunding at all. Eric he's but when it comes to crowdfunding, the idea that there are kids comics charities that need pallets and pallets of the same book, and it's your book, is so misguided. And I sometimes I just want to cry. I talk to my wife and I'm like, I don't know what I don't know what I started here. Like, I feel like I started this, and I started this gangster shit, and this is the motherfucking thanks I get.
So you're Dr. Frankenstein, huh?
Yeah.
You're looking at the monster going, what the fuck did I do?
Yeah, like, what did I do? Like, everybody, you don't have to do that. Just sell your comic book, get to backers, and make some money to make a comic book. And I don't know where charity is about. We did a charity because a famous comic book author said, I hope everybody in Comicsgate gets dick cancer. We thought that was mean. And so what I did was I raised $10,000 for a male cancer charity in his neighborhood over in the UK. And we gave them cash. We didn't give them comics. A guy whose dick is falling off does not want to read Cyberfrog. He wants money, So we just donated nice cash donation to this charitable endeavor. And that's really all charity should be.
That's the way to do it.
That's why Ethan's a better man than me, because I would have raised the money to give the other guys dick cancer.
I know, like, I saw
eye for an eye.
I saw some people who were like who had a GoFundMe up, and it's like the GoFundMe, the people who had this GoFundMe have been horrible to me, and turned people against me. Well, it's like, please keep us from homelessness. Donate to our GoFundMe. We can't pay our bills. And I just was like, in my head, and I would never say this aloud ever, except to you guys. I was just like, where is the GoFundMe to expedite your homelessness? That's what I want. I want to pay your landlord. I want to buy your property so I can kick you into the street. That's not nice. And that's not Christian. Those are just my own bad thoughts.
What if Eric was funny like you?
We wouldn't be here.
I think a lot of this drama would be non-existent. Like if he didn't take everything so seriously, if he joked around more.
You know what? Ethan convinced Eric to come on my stream, and I will joke around with him, and I'll bring him around.
No, but I'm saying that Eric's not that guy in this universe.
I'll make him. I'll make him. I have that effect on people.
Oh, Ethan, what do you think about multiverses?
I think well, I mean, I was with Dan Didio at DC, and he was obsessed with them. I think they're I don't know. I don't like them. I don't care about them. I don't want to do that with Cyberfrog because it's like I'm very busily trying to establish this universe that I'm building.
Right.
So, but actually, yeah, when Eric July did say, I'm going to not have a multiverse, I'm like, you don't have you don't have a universe right now.
Right.
Like,
that's what I was I was
like, don't worry about the
well, these
multiverse
companies
yet.
have
Shit.
decades of history.
And by the way, even saying that, like, don't say that you won't, because what if you want to do? What if, like, next year you go, you know what? I want to do a what if ISOM had done this story. Like, you made a promise that you would never do that. Why? It's like, why cut yourself off of like story? You might just wake up with a great idea one day, and you've already told your fans that it's against your personal code, your credo, to do that. It doesn't make sense.
You have to leave room for the fact that you're going to grow as a writer. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're gonna grow. You're also like the standards and the promises that you're making to people about your own personal ethics and things. You're really kind of putting yourself in a bind because now people are going to be like scrutinizing your behavior. Nobody's perfect. People make mistakes, and everyone is a hypocrite. Everyone is a hypocrite in some way or another. Try to like stop making grand pronouncements about what your company stands for and all this stuff, but you're going to get called out on it. The funniest thing about all, like, having my own business now is that all of my like Comicsgate ideals about how, customers must be treated by professionals. Boy, that's all really fun when you don't have strangers on the internet calling you an asshole and making up lies about you. And you know what I mean? And it's like suddenly you're just like, no, fuck you. And you're just, now I'm behaving like Dan Slott.
Not always right.
Customer isn't always right. And a lot of times the customer is being an asshole. But, at the same time, it's like, yeah, I got to remember that like the worst people, you'll see me like on Twitter, or not me, but my representatives at All Caps Comics. You'll see them when somebody is extremely especially rude to us. We respond with, thank you for your business. Like, would you like to back Cyberfrog Wreck Planet? Here's a link. We'd love to have you in our audience, our fan club. You have to do that. Like, that's really and you know what's weird is that sometimes it works. Sometimes you make a sale because it's like there's some people who don't really, they think they're mad at you, but they don't want to really be mad at you. And when you're kind to them, they're like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a chance. Yeah, it's interesting. It does kind of work. So maybe Comicsgate ideals are the right thing.
Yeah. Well, you know where I was disappointed with Isom 2? There's a scene where they go to a Comic-Con, and they got the little fake Comic-Con girl and little fat kid, but they had all kind of comic book stuff, fake comic book stuff. And I was disappointed. I was like, why didn't he have like a Cyberfrog, poster or something? Like, in their universe, they're reading Cyberfrog.
Oh, that would have been nice. That would have been neat.
There's a little cash grab comic on the floor that fell down, right? A little. I can't think of the rest of your Comicsgates, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, that'd be nice. I don't think he connects with us like that. I don't think that's his thing. Too. Yeah. Because I don't want to get into it. It's going to sound like I'm denigrating the guy, and I'm not. I just my thing with Comicsgate, my thing is really like this whole thing grows if nobody eats alone. And that's the thing. Like, everybody has to promote each other. That's what creates a community, and that's what creates. If you're going to create like an alternate industry or whatever they're calling it, like Well, the
Parallel
only
economy.
parallel economy, you can't do that alone. Like you can't. You have to have many people all doing that together. You can't just have a fast food industry with only the McDonald brothers. It's got to be other people popping up and competing and being aware of each other, and that kind of thing really needs to kind of happen. And there needs to be some competition and so just awareness. It'd be great, like if that were kind of the thing. I don't think he thinks like that. That's maybe I project my own ideals onto other people, and I get disappointed when they don't behave that way. But I've had to
you're
tell
not
him
wrong because I often think about Eric July, and I often lament the fact that if he was a better man, he'd be basically pulling so many others up with him. But now it seems like a singular thing. Even though he's hiring people for his company, it doesn't seem like he cares that much about indie comics as a whole. And when I was watching Rikita, he was talking about he noticed a shift that I noticed as well. Comicsgate started with, what was it like? There's like 3 big guys. You were one of them, and there were 2 others. But now Rikita said that that Eric's the head of it now. Do you think that's true?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, by head, the person who's making the most money, getting the most attention. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You would just have
with
to
great power.
acknowledge that. Yeah,
With
but
great
I mean, you don't
responsibility.
have to. Like that's the thing. It's like you can't kind of impart that to him and make someone else kind of agree with that. Like my thing was when it became clear that Cyberfrog was incredibly successful and it raised $500,000 in the first round of funding, I went, I'm going to bring other people with me. I don't know what's going on here, but I know all these guys who were out of work, and I'm going to bring them with me. And so we started Comicsgate. We started the Comicsgate live show, and all it was being entertaining, talking some shit, looking at the news, and then being like, by the way, you got a campaign. Let's look at your campaign. And like suddenly these guys who were crowdfunding and having zero success were making $25,000, $50,000, $100,000 a campaign.
Wow.
And it was it really felt like, and I was leading the way. I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars with everything that I did, and it really felt like I was a tugboat, pulling these people along to like success and financial kind of stability and independence. And it didn't hurt me none, really. I mean, I don't think that money was meant to go to me, but didn't. I got my fair share. It's just that there were
was
other
a lot
choices
to go around. I mean,
Of
they
course.
didn't have
Still
to
is.
fund like lawsuits, defenses, and
Yeah, of course. So, I think that's a good thing. I think it'd be like, so I've actually talked to Eric in private and been like, listen, every now and then, I don't want to tell you what to do, but here's what to do. When you see somebody, when you see somebody like tagging you in their campaign, and it's like, take a quick look at it. You don't have to do this for everybody. Take a quick look at their campaign. And if it honestly looks good to you, give them a little retweet. That's all you have to do. It's just press a button, retweet it. And he goes, oh, sure, I will. I'll do that from now on. And every now and then he'll do it, But it's not really his motivation. He's not motivated for indie comics. He's motivated for Rippaverse. So,
Speaking of indie comics and campaigns, I actually talked to somebody who has a campaign ongoing right now. John Dexter and his Dime Store Detective. I read the first issue. I thought it was real good. I got Ethan here. I figured I'd show him this campaign here. So
that looks like a nice cover. The art looks
If
okay.
you're like a fan of True Detective, you'll dig this.
And he says he's got no issues with Comicsgate, so it's not like you'd be. The enemy.
Yeah, like I don't care. Like you should, it looks good. You should promote it. People should talk about it, share it around, bring him on, and just make it like a goal one day to get him to his $2,000 goal, and things like that. We have fun with it. We'll do stupid human tricks when we reach absurd funding goals, things like that. It's good. It's good fun. That looks great.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of stroke. I get people like you and Vito and John De La Rose to show up every once in a while, but I can't motivate these guys to give me money, let alone to give money to other people. So
It's true. It's not easy, especially now. The economy sucks. It's terrible. I'm seeing like a downshift in crowdfunding across the entire. I haven't seen anyone improve, and it's like part of me goes, "Oh, is crowdfunding going away?" It isn't going away. It's just that everyone's fucking broke, dude. It's so bad. It's hard to get people to sort of pony up, $25 when, the gas is so expensive, groceries are so expensive, and all this stuff. But yeah, seems to be. Hopefully we'll get Trump in the White House again if he can survive all these lawsuits, and then magical things will happen with the economy as they did last time.
we'll take old copies of ISO and build a wall.
You're just shitting on all the other candidates running.
I'm shitting on them. No, I think that Trump is the only one who can really make a difference. I do. I think they're terrible. Like they're terrible. But think about this. Like, why are they so afraid of him? And you can't say, well, it's because he's like, this and that and a racist. Big deal. They're all racist up there. All of them are.
All those Richmond, north of Richmond.
Yeah, of course. They're all pieces of shit. So what is it about Trump exactly that bothers them so much? And whatever it is, I got to have it. It's like whatever it is that's bothering them about this guy so much that they're all like shitting their pants every day about him. It's clearly that like we need it. The country needs it. Things are not good right now. So.
I agree with Ethan on that. If those people don't like him, then I want him, right?
Yeah. A lot of people are kind of changing their mind, I think, and hopefully, I mean, this has never happened before in American history, that like the entire political media industrial complex has teamed up together to keep this guy from running. Like they're trying to put him in jail. Like what the hell? How is this America? It's bizarre. And they're persecuting him. It's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. I have a real weird feeling about everything.
I look forward to him winning a third election. It'd be fun.
Thank you for saying that. A third time. Yeah. I didn't know you were a Trump supporter, Tony. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just not out here like yelling about it every day. I got more important things to do.
Well, next year we will.
Oh, definitely. And we're gonna, like I said, we'll take those old copies of ISIM, we'll dip them in gold and build a wall right across the border. Keep my family out. I don't want them visiting anyway.
Yeah. What'd you think? Did you get a copy of ISON for $5?
I already have a copy of it.
Oh. I do too. I don't have number 2. Did you? I don't have number 2 yet. I thought I'd get sent a copy. I didn't get sent one, dude. I did the cover. Where are my comps? I got no.
You have
comps.
to get yours off eBay.
I guess, yeah. Like I gotta back it. Really? You don't want to send me a couple? All right. They just assume.
Take it out of your check. Don't worry. I took it out of your pay.
I mean, yeah. Like I don't know. Like I would send a copy, but I'm not going to complain about it.
But I think he actually doesn't either doesn't want or doesn't care if his friends read his comic.
Well, it's not even his friend.
That includes
Ethan worked on the comic. You should at least give him one copy because here's the cover you did and here's the book.
Yeah, you would think so. My cover, of course, the best-selling cover.
I didn't know you were doing one, and I was like, oh, let me just get this one. And I didn't get.
You got the one that had like the excitement blurb that says, "Find out inside why ISOM quit."
Yeah,
it's like I saw that, was like, God damn. Bring that up. Let me see that cover. Can you find that and show it?
Yeah,
I will make fun of
now,
Eric here for a second.
Do you regret not doing that with your cover? Or do you
I should have done a blurb with something depressing on it. It's like you think about like, I mean, what, like Stan Lee would put blurbs on his comics that were like, inside this comic, witness the trembling might of the Gorgon. It's like, like something that is like like awe-striking, like in this book, and nothing but hype,
Yeah.
Well, there's hype on it. It says, look, all these new characters coming.
Pop it up. Let me see.
Says,
Find out. Why did I sunk quit? I love that.
I'll share that.
Why did
a black man quit his job? Tell me this. Tell me this. How much would it have costed? A lot more to have this cover artist do the actual artwork in the book? Because it just seems all the covers seem way more high quality than the artwork in the book. So
he was offered the job.
Price thing?
No, he was offered the job. This guy, his name's Kanan White, and Kanan White was doing he was doing Comicscape books. He did a book called Brand. Oh, he actually drew Cyberfrog Heartsick Horror for me. He drew a Cyberfrog book for me, a 10-page story in it, and it's good.
Well,
it's great.
Well, hold on,
seen
real quick. Well, what do you think about this, Ethan? You're an artist, obviously. The graffiti item looks completely different from the face of the actual item. Why is that? It's like two different items.
Well, all the items look different. Like, why does he have an afro there and no facial hair? They always look different. I don't know. I listen. What do I know?
It's an unreliable narrator.
Yeah, that is true. So this guy, Kanan White, he's very funny. He was doing Brand. He was doing a comic book called Brand for Comicscape. It's really brilliant artwork. And it wasn't doing too well. And I yelled at his writer. I said, "You can't, you gotta put out issue 1. You got to get this out. And I know you want to fund issue 2." Anyway, they got kind of mad at me and they left Comicsgate. And they had this idea to go find another big YouTuber with a big audience. Everybody kind of thought the reason why I was successful was because I was a big YouTuber. And if they just find another big YouTuber, maybe a bigger YouTuber, then they would be even more successful. So they went and they found Dame Drops, who was a guy, a large black man who reviews fast food. And the reason why he has like 1 million, 2 million subscribers is because he famously ate a hamburger and went, damn.
Oh, I know Dame Drops. He's
so that guy,
when it comes to the new burgers.
Yeah. So they went to him and said, maybe you want us to do you a Dame Drops comic book that will crowdfund. And he said, hell yeah. Why wouldn't he? It's really flattering. So Kanan White, decided he's going to draw it. This guy Antonio is going to write it. And they're just like, we're gonna show him because this guy's got 2 million subscribers. Well, Dame Drops, they started working on this book. It looks excellent. It's a book that who the fuck would buy this comic book? He goes around and he goes to fast food windows and the lettuce and tomatoes attack him. And he has to fight lettuce and tomatoes as Dame Drops man.
Oh no.
I mean, it's like something that you would get at the dentist's office. It's a really bad fucking fake comic book. But it still might have sold if only Dame Drops would let them sell it to his audience. He didn't. They launched the book. Dame Drops goes, no, we'll launch it on your live stream. And this guy only has 50 followers on. So look at. So they invested all. There it is.
He's not proud of this at all.
He went to Bendy's. Look at that.
Yeah, and look how good the art is. It's just shit.
Yeah,
and it only raised $6,300 for about a guy who's got 2 million subscribers. And I was just I laughed so hard. I just laughed. So anyway, they were way in debt. Kanan was having a real problem paying his bills, and then. Eric July, called me up hey, I want to make a book and everything. And I got the superhero. And I said, okay, I got I actually do have the artist for you. This guy, Kanan White. And he's perfect he's a really, really good artist. And he's definitely the guy for you. So I gave Eric his information. Eric contacted him and offered him the gig. And Kanan had a complete attitude adjustment. Like he basically said, I'm not working for another YouTuber. I'm not drawing another YouTuber's book. I'm going to try to get back. I'm going to try to go work for DC and Marvel. And I said to Kanan, I said, I heard you turn down Eric July. And he said, yeah. I said, this is the book where you make money, Kanan. You got to listen to me. I know you've been screwed over. This is your ship. Hear this? That's your ship coming in. That's the sound of your. He didn't believe me.
I thought that was a smoke detector. I was confused.
Yeah, it's a smoke detector. He didn't believe me, and so he did a cover, and he did the covers for Eric under a pseudonym, so that nobody at Marvel or DC would know that he was working for like a libertarian right winger, Glenn Beck. And when it happened, like, it's like the book raised $3.7 million. I was like, Kanan, what the fuck? What did you do, dude?
So you just outed him. You just outed him that he did the cover. That's it. Yeah,
that's right. I've outed him many times about that. It's gay that he won't put his real name there. I'm like, Kanan, you realize that like your name is all over my Cyberfrog comics. Like, I'm not. Yeah. If you think I'm going to change your name on my comic because you're afraid to associate with me, I paid for you, motherfucker. I give you a check for these pages. Your name is going on them. So silly.
TJ later says, "What am I seeing? The Dame Drops comic. Look at that Wolverine-esque cover."
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's not. Oh, that's who drew that? I'm not sure. I know the guy, but I can't remember what his name is. That's actually really pretty.
Manasseh Johnson?
No, that he did the caricatures that you're looking at down there. Oh. He does these political caricatures that are really nice.
Cover C, Elliot.
Yeah,
Jerkmonger. Yeah, Elliot Fernandez. Yeah, he was Comicsgate too. Look at that. They put so much work into this, dude. Fucking bombed.
So is there a copy of this like floating around somewhere?
Let's see the comments. Are people saying they received it? Scroll up. Okay, go down a little bit. A little bit more. Right there, comments.
Any news about anything? I found it. Thanks. Are we closer to getting this finished since the last 4 updates? Last update 4 months ago and the 2 years since the start? Robert, I could say the same about the tone of your initial comment that I replied to. This campaign has been closed for months. Both Dame and myself are very aware of how long it's been. So pointing out 4 months this and 2 years that seems to be more curiosity, especially since you now acknowledge both reading and understanding my update. We're still over $11,000 in the hole on this project. I haven't sold the book in months, so unfortunately nothing has changed. I don't think people got the comic.
No, it doesn't seem that way.
And he is not happy to be having to do
I do remember. The other thing I remember is they had to give him a percentage of the money to add insult to injury. They had to give Dame Drops a percentage of the earnings. Oh shit. And that left them with not enough money to do anything. You can't make a book, you can't print a book, you can't, fulfill a book.
Wow.
We spent around $18,000 producing this book. The rest came from Dame and myself. I personally spent over $4,000. Jesus.
Oh, poor guy. Actually, Dame ended up paying to get the book done.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
Okay, so everyone lost.
Yeah, it would have worked if he'd just been on Dame's show. Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, what? Okay, maybe I'm stupid. But after it bombed, why didn't they just go back on Dame's show and be like, hey, guys, come fucking support my comic that's floundering?
I don't know. I really don't know why Dame didn't have them on his show all the time to promote this. I guess.
Yeah, you paid $8,000.
Yeah, at that point, I'd be like, fuck the $8,000. You're gonna come on my show every week.
We'll raise it for my audience. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know why. I really don't. Wasn't privy to that. I just watched it happen in horror from a distance.
But I do like that you're tangentially related to Dame Drops now.
6 degrees. Every YouTuber is related to every YouTuber.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna work for someone like this. Is the thing. Shadiversity did a comic. It's gonna work because he's already writing something. Razor Fist did a comic. It did okay because he's like somebody who writes some like stuff. You know,
Well,
Eric
Shadowverse
Lai.
got canceled recently, right?
Who did?
Shadowverse got canceled recently.
Oh yeah,
right?
yeah. I made a video
friend.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't know. I don't think you can. When's the best time to be canceled in your career?
Yeah, it sucks all the time. You know, being
Yeah.
being canceled for me was a like seriously was a nightmare. It really was. People are like, yeah, but look what happened to you. Like, you're welcome for us canceling you. It's like, no, it sucked. It was horrible. Like, absolutely
Well,
horrible.
you didn't mean for this to happen.
No, and I'm lucky it happened the way that it did, but it didn't need to. Like, I could be out in the street.
He made lemonade from his lemons. That's all.
Yeah, and but I mean, even still, like, I'm canceled. Like, there are things I can't do. Like, I will never work in the mainstream again. You know, it's like if I go to a convention, people are going to give me the side eye. You know, it's like somebody could assault me for all I know.
Well, once Rippa destroys Marvel and DC, he'll be the mainstream, and then you'll be back on top.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, so that's another reason why I support the Rippaverse. Yeah, it's another chance to work for the mainstream again through Rippa.
just create a new mainstream.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, that's what always happens. It's like if you destroy the old mainstream, something's got to replace it.
You become the
new.
mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against that. I'm not against the mainstream, period. It's just I'm against the people who are currently gatekeeping it. You know.
Hero Journalism says, "What a crazy story! EVS has been a pretty good guest. He's always good when he comes around. He goes on other people's show and says the N-word. Here he behaves."
I've never said the N-word in my entire life. Ever. Actually, no, that's not true. I said it when I was 3. I grew up in Provo, Utah, and I was 3 years old. I remember the kid next door said, some N-words live in the house over there. And I heard that word for the first time from him, and I just thought it was a great sounding word. So I go to my mom, and I go, "Hey, Mom, N-word." And my mom took me by my fucking... I had like my mom took me by my hair and like stuck a bar of soap in my mouth. Yeah, my mom's black. She's like, "Who are you calling N-word?" I don't know how you look the way you look, cracker. She took me by the hair and she like stuck soap in my mouth. So you never, ever, ever say that word. I was like, oh, okay. Those kind of lessons stick, when you're 3 years old.
So that Steve Martin movie, The Jerk, that's based on your life, huh?
Maybe. Did that happen in the Steve Martin movie?
That's the one where he's raised by the black parents and they're like, "We got to tell you something. You're white." And he's like, "What? I'm white?"
Oh, yeah.
Hair will always be white.
Yeah. Well, I've appreciated this, Ethan, but it is 1:12. I have work in 3 hours.
Yeah, sure.
So
thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. It's fun.
Anytime.
Can I just say F you to Mundane Matt?
Yeah,
seriously, Mundane Matt, like, don't go on actual fandom, his show, and be saying things like Ethan's a coward and stuff. I mean, first of all, we don't have beef, you and me. Don't say things like that to his audience or to him. I'm no coward. I'll talk to you or anyone. I always say what I feel, and I'm not afraid to say what I think. And I think I've proven that to you personally several times. And I would talk to you here. I was hoping that you would come on this show and we could talk about that. Seriously, don't call me that, dude. There are a lot of things that you can call me, like Nazi, bigot, homophobe, but coward, that is not me. And you should know better. Thank you.
Who are you calling chicken?
Yes.
Right, thank you for popping in, Ethan. Like I said, anytime you want to pop in,
you bet, gentlemen. Welcome. You have a great night. Take care.
All right, everybody. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.
See you later.